Hey everyone, so you have just finished your 6 years of medicine and surgery in Italy, and now you're probably thinking what's next. It's a huge question. Do you try for a specialty in Italy, start working right away, or maybe pack your bags and move abroad? It can feel overwhelming, but don't worry. I'm here to break it down for your options and for working as a doctor in other countries. Let's get into it. First up is the United Kingdom. This is a super common question. Like, do Italian doctors need to take the PLAB exam? Here's the key truth for 2025. Because of all European agreements, your Italian medical degree is still recognized. This means that you might not need to take the PLAB if the General Medical Council or GMC directly accepts your qualification. What you will need is an English certificate like an IELTS score of 7.5 or an OET grade B. You also need your degree proof of internship and certificate of good standing. Once you have your GMC registration, you can apply for jobs like a non-training foundation year 2 post, a trust grade senior house officer, or even get into training programs for general practice or other hospital specialties. The pros: great salaries and really strong structured training. The cons: workload. It can be intense, it is very competitive, and the rules can change. Next, let's talk about Ireland. For your EU doctors or like European doctors, this is probably the easiest route. There is no licensing exams for graduates from EU country. You can register directly with the Irish Medical Council. You still need an English test. Done. But its requirement is a bit lower than the UK. An IELTS of 7 or OET of grade B should be fine. You can find jobs as senior house officer or non-consultant hospital doctor and enter their training pathways, which are well regarded. The pros are really smooth entry process and supportive system. The cons: there are fewer training spots available and the pay is generally a bit lower than in the UK. What about Germany? This is another great option. Your Italian degree is automatically recognized, so no medical exam is needed. But, and this is a big but, because the language is mandatory. You'll need to prove you have B2 level general German and C1 level medical German, so keep that in mind. Once you have got that, you can get your approbation, which is the full medical license, and start working directly as a resident doctor, or you can call that Assistenzarzt. The big pro here is a fantastic job security and a good salary. The main con of the course is the significant language barrier. You need to overcome that first. Now, let's look further and afield. What about Australia? To work down under, you will generally need to pass the Australian Medical Council exam, both multiple choice and clinical exam. However, there is a popular alternative, the UK pathway. If you complete the PLAB, get the GMC registration, and work for a year in UK, you can often bypass the Australian exams. The pros of Australia are excellent pay and a fantastic lifestyle. The cons are that it's too long, expensive process, and tough exam. Similar to Australia is New Zealand. To practice there, you will need to pass their clinical exam, the NZREX, but again, there's a shortcut. If you have already registered and completed on working in a country that they consider as a competent authority like the UK, Ireland, or the US, you can skip the exam. The pros are an amazing work-life balance. The cons are that training spots are quite limited. And finally, the big one, the United States. This is a dream for many, but it's the toughest path. You will need to pass all the USMLE steps, step 1, step 2 CK, and then enter into a highly competitive match process to get a residency spot. It's a long process and an expensive journey. The pros are the highest salaries in the world and truly world-class training opportunities. The cons is by far the hardest and the most competitive route for an international medical graduate. So let's do a quick final comparison. For the easiest entry from the EU, look at Ireland and Germany. For the best structured training, the UK and Australia are the top choices. If your main goal is highest possible salary, then USA is the winner. For best lifestyle, New Zealand is hard to beat. And if you want the fastest way to start earning money without leaving home, you can always begin with locum work like Guardia Medica in Italy. I hope this breakdown helps clear things up and makes your decision a little easier. It's a big world out there with tons of opportunities. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or experiences to share. Thank you for watching.